It's a dark day in Sixers history, draft day. And if you go back to draft day, it was the day we traded Mikal Bridges, who has blossomed into one of the brightest young NBA players, who is exactly what the Sixers needed. Of all the moves and gaffes during the process, this one, the biggest one. We had Mikal Bridges. They drafted him. He was here. And then Brett Brown decided to move him. And it's a move that has haunted us ever since. So we discussed this move with Mikal Bridges' dad. And of course, from our All Sixers show right here on PHLY, we love him. Mikal Bridges' cousin, the great Devon Givens. What's up, gents? Hello.
What's up, man?
You guys hear me?
I got you, Jack. How are you, buddy? Now, you know what, Andrew, maybe you have not used the dark screen if you can, but because I know that Jack's having problems with his camera. Jack, let me just first say, it's a pleasure, man. Your cousin Devon is greatness, and your son is someone we're extremely proud of.
I appreciate it, Ant. I appreciate it for sure.
So, Devon, set the scene for the family, all right? Would you? This is not a good anniversary for us.
Yeah, so draft night 2018, June 2018. I was doing the draft show from the Sixers practice facility in Camden, and the buzz was already there. We were talking about a lot of different things leading up to everything happening and what it looked like for the Sixers. We knew what the range was for Kale at the time, and the Sixers were really, really interested. And as things started to fall the way that they really did, it looked like it was a realistic possibility that the Sixers were actually going to take him. And everybody pretty much embraced themselves for it. He embraced himself for it, and Jack can explain that a little bit better. But so while we're at the facility doing the draft show, the Sixers organization, the staffers, they knew my relationship with him, of course. And Jack and the family were in the green room in New York at the draft. So as things are getting closer, I text with Jack once because he was busy with Kale and his mom. I was texting with his brothers also, who were also there. And as the board just started to fall, man, we just really were like, this is gonna happen. and we already knew that personality wise and all, because of who he is, because of how Mikal was raised by his mom and his dad, that he could take playing at home again, not just on a collegiate level, but on a professional level as well. And they have their system, they do what they do. And as everything played out, we know then what happened. And I can really let Jack explain that a little bit more with him being on the floor as things were taking place.
So, Jack, tell us from your experience, recount that for us.
Well, the draft in itself just was a great experience, just being a basketball guy all my life, because we've been doing this basketball thing forever, right? So the experience was great. I was never a Sixer fan, diehard Celtic, right? So when this was even a real thing.
Wait, Jack, you grew up in West Philly, a Celtic fan?
And don't do this to me. I'm still celebrating the championship from the other day. I'm natural high right now, okay? Let's not do this, okay?
Because we're all the same age.
Die
Who
hard.
was it? The Bird thing? Everybody was the Doc.
For sure. Well, you know what? Mine was a little weird because I have an older brother, right? He's like 3 years older, diehard Laker guy, right? And know, you're a young kid, you try to always be like your brother. He's like, get out of here, little kid, knucklehead, whatever. So then I said, okay, well, then I'm opposing everything you're into. So if you like the Lakers, then who's the opposing team? Celtics. That's who I like. You know what I mean?
Wow.
He's a Giants fan.
Don't worry, Ant. This is a flaw that he knows that I always get on him about. It's okay. So it's all
Semi-flaw. No, but one of the funniest parts of that is, of course, all my homies, all my friends I went to college with, they all know I'm diehard Celtics. So they were saying to me leading up, boy, we're going to draft Kel. We're going to draft Kel. What you going to do? And I'm just like, hey, man, then I'm going to be a Sixer fan. So, of course, it happened. And you know, it's his dream. So no matter where he went, it's a blessing, right? So they pass out the hats. You know, I'm already texting my friends and stuff. I put the hat on. I send them the picture. I'm like, is this what you guys always wanted to see? You wanted to see me in a Sixer hat? So we're like, okay, cool. You know, we're laughing. Mikal goes with his mom. They go to take a few, doing interviews. Meet Jay Wright, his agent. We're still sitting at the table. So I said, all right, let me kind of catch up with my other family while he's doing that, right? So I text everybody, where you guys sitting at? I'm going to go find them. While I'm literally on the escalator, I'm looking at like the banner going around the arena, and it's saying different transactions. And I feel like I saw Miles Bridges was traded, right? So I'm like, damn, he could trade on draft day. That's tough. By the time I get to where the family is, everybody has like the worst look on their face. And I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, you didn't hear what happened? It's like my oldest son. I'm like looking at his face. He's like, you didn't hear what happened? I said, no. He said, Mikal got traded. I said, no, he didn't. I said, Miles Bridges got traded. Everybody's looking at me like, yeah, you didn't get the update. Mikal got traded too. And I'm like, where? They say Phoenix. I just literally turned around and went back downstairs where everybody was at, just to see the look on his mom's face. And like, everybody was just like, oh, I'm like, well, I'm like the last person to get the memo on this one. So yeah, it was interesting.
I can't even fathom. Like, this whole story is cruel from every standpoint. The fact that his mom worked
Totally.
for the Sixers.
Right. For sure.
Yeah.
It sounded like the
But
perfect story. I mean, it would have been the
And the
perfect
greatest story,
Local kid,
Zach. Like,
you know what I mean? For
oh,
sure. I
yeah,
would have
so
been happy being a Sixer fan. I would have been happy being a
for
Sixer
sure.
fan.
So I
yeah.
was so as everything happened doing the show, and then I get the news, and my shoulders just slumped, and I went quiet for a minute, and I had to react as a pro, right, professional on the air doing the show, and I just gotten finished, guys. I just gotten finished doing an interview on Sixers.com with Brian Seltzer at the time, and what was the coach at Penn's name at that time? I can't remember, but we were talking about it. He was praising Kale. Seltz had told him, you know, who I was to Mikal, and he was just saying so many great things about him, and you know, I'm just beaming ear to ear because of like, oh, normally when this happens, draft happens on Thursday, we get the players to come in on Friday for the press conference. So I'm texting Jack and everybody, see you tomorrow, right? Because we're gonna have the press conference, and we're all gonna have our. I was going to be a little unprofessional because I was probably going to have some Sixers hat or whatever at that point, but I was ready for it. And then like you said, everything just happened, and then it just started really happening, just kept going, and I couldn't stop thinking about it obviously throughout the rest of the night.
Yeah, it was devastating. It was devastating to me as a fan, right? Like, I love the story. I love you. I love the story, and I just thought he was such a great ball player, a great fit on a team like that needed a wing, and knowing. I'm not saying I saw how great that Mikal would be, but you know that Villanova players, if you just look at it and divorce yourself from the family piece of it, Villanova players blossom, right? Like, they exceed. It's the way Jay does it, the whole thing. Like, that there was an upside that went beyond 3 and D. I'm still
Yeah,
to this,
I'm
right? Like, am
I'm
I?
shocked too. I felt like there was another plan for the Sixers. You know what I mean? Like, okay, they had something else in mind. I don't know. I don't have any insight on that.
And
But
the tough part too was this too, that so Kale gets picked at 10, and the Sixers had another selection later in the first round where they selected Landry Shamet. If we all remember that, Landry Shamet was the selection who ultimately became Kale's teammate in Phoenix. But Jalen Brunson was also available. He didn't go into the early second round with the Dallas Mavericks. So there were a lot of different things when you talk about the Villanova piece, not just the city, but two players, two champions from your local school here that would have really helped your basketball team at that point. And then again, we're getting ready for year number 7 for both of them, of what they both blossomed into, but particularly Kale, of how this thing could have worked out.
Jack, did Brett ever talk to you? Did the team reach out to you?
No, but I think that Brett reached out to his mom afterwards, from my understanding, and like kind of apologized for this whole thing. So you know what I mean. But you want to know what's interesting though, Hank? Mikal never worked out for Phoenix. Never spoke with them. Never. I mean, they had the number 1 pick, so he knew he was going to go number 1. So that wasn't even a team that he interviewed with or worked out for or anything.
I mean, that's
wild. For them to pull that trigger, for them to pull the trigger without even having a conversation with him, that says a lot too.
Yeah, I know. I can only imagine how proud you must have been for Mikal, because, I mean, you want to talk about handle it like a champ. I mean, he was your champ during that whole thing. I know. I would have been freaking out. God bless him.
On the camera, he kept it together. But he wasn't happy about it at all. And I think just, in time, he got to understand that it's not, it's not a knock to you. Actually, my guy explained to him at the time that, look, Phoenix was like the worst team, okay? And they were
we did not want to go to Phoenix.
No.
Right, but what I explained to him was the fact that Phoenix is making these moves to get you shows that they have a lot of value in you as a player, and they've selected you as one of the players to help turn the franchise around, which, I mean, I think we saw it in the short, not Mikal alone, but like I explained to him, you're one of the players that they are trying to, turn his franchise around with. And it was successful, and he loved the desert. He definitely loved it out there. I think once he got out there and met with the team and everybody, everything started to change.
And Jay, I know you don't mind sharing this with Ant and everybody, is that before the draft, we would talk about different teams, right? And different organizations. And with the Suns, even though didn't have the first round pick, the first overall pick, and Kale was going to go that high, still lottery, we would talk about situations though, like tough situations. And the Sarver, just the things that you would hear behind the scenes, and we all know what happened later on, where he was forced to sell and all of that. We would talk about stuff like that. So when the Phoenix thing happened, it was like, damn, they stink. It's awful. They have a rookie head coach. They haven't been winning for many, many years. And this Sarver situation, you don't know how it's going to play out, just because you would get some intel from behind the scenes of what was going on. And just didn't want to be a part of a situation like that. But James Jones takes over as the general manager. Monty Williams comes in. They basically right the ship as things go on. And as Jack explained, it became something that he ultimately loved.
How do you guys feel now that, there's the talk is like, do whatever you can to try to trade for Mikal? I mean, it's mind-boggling, but, I know we're still reeling from it, and it's funny. He's still a perfect fit. I mean, Jack, you think about it. He's still the perfect fit to play next to Tyrese and Joel.
Yes, I agree 100%. Again, still not a Sixer fan. That doesn't change. And you're a cool dude. I love Cuz, but I'm still not switching. But,
brother, listen, after what happened, I would never blame you. Like, part of me understands that. Listen, I forgive the past sins when you were a kid. Like, don't even worry about it after that.
For sure. But yeah, I like him for the team now personally. I thought he was a good fit then. And as we see in Kel, his game actually continued to grow. So you can only imagine he coming as a D3 for the Sixers, where the Sixers had a really good team at that time, to then be able to continue to develop. And now it's like you've added a new player, you know what I mean? He'll come in a couple of years. So I like him. I think he's he's a mature player. I think that the experiences that he has been through while he's been in the league, starting off with Phoenix being, really bad the first year, and then them even having championship, a cup of tea in the championship, and then now to this reality situation in Brooklyn where, as you can see, he was just in a championship, a year ago, and now here you are on the team, or 2 years ago, and here you're on a team that's looking to be like one of the worst teams in the league. So, a lot of that just has to, he has to use this to build himself, build his character, build his mental state, the mental aspect of the game, because we know that's where the game really is played. And I think he's ready for a change. I think that Brooklyn, could be going in a different direction. I mean, they probably need to hit a reset button. Mikal's not a reset button guy. He's actually would be a key player to a team that's right here on the cups of making a long playoff run. So you know what I mean. I'm looking forward to it. Now we say that Sixers stuff, and another, I'm sure other teams is looking and saying, "Hey,
without a doubt,
you're a perfect fit here too." But again, being that Celtic guy I am, I actually would like to come for the Sixers.
Hey, but we are in Brooklyn right now, so we have to play it out and see how things go.
For sure. And I have nothing bad to say about Brooklyn organization. They're a good organization. The people around here are great, but this is a business. So, as his father, I would like to see him in the best possible company. You understand what I'm saying?
Without a doubt.
Successful in the company.
Look,
just one. I got one thing. Just dad to dad. All right.
Gotcha.
It's such a cool thing. Like I love our local guys, but especially your family. I love your family. What's it like?
I appreciate it.
What's it like to have your son? You're a basketball guy. What's it like to have your son, flourish in the NBA? Like watching him win an NCAA title, like watching him play at Villanova, watching him be in the NBA and flourish. What's it like just from a pride standpoint?
Well, first and foremost, it's definitely a blessing, for our family, and I've always been a basketball guy, so it had its surreal moments, just the whole process. But it's great, it's a great thing. We're totally into sports, not just basketball, but we definitely, we definitely grew up basketball only. You know what I mean? And it's just tremendous. It's tremendous for all of it. It's tremendous for my younger cousins and next generations who are able to say, hey, that's my cousin, that's my family, and, give them something to strive for as well, And Mikal's such a great dude. Like, he's a great dude that you guys see, and he's just as great within the family and all of us and all that stuff. So,
and I know, I imagine as a dad, you're just, thrilled from all the hard work that he put in and that he continues to, that, it's just a beautiful thing. I just going through youth sports with my kids, to now, fast forward to like somebody like Mikal achieving, it's a great thing. I'm just so happy for you and your family, buddy.
Thanks, Ian. I appreciate it. And listen, I've appreciated you guys all these years, even back before the whole situation. I mean, you guys have always talked well about Mikal, especially you, cuz you've been putting him out there before he was even really out there. And I appreciate it. So I thank you guys. And, I listen to you guys. And now that cuz kind of put me down on what your schedule's like, I'll definitely be checking you out for sure. And cuz, I'm waiting to get on the show again. So, anytime you call me, I'm ready. But again, I totally appreciate you guys. I always have. And I tell cuz all the time, and this is my first time getting to tell you, my friend, I definitely appreciate it. And, keep up the great job that you guys are doing.
It's also because you guys, so I have the same relationship with my cousin Joey that you and Devon have, Jack. Like, we're like brothers. We grew up together, and
for sure,
it's just like, it's so Philadelphia. Like, our generation, we're from the same generation. We have that, like, cousins are like
people
brothers.
Don't understand that. Yeah,
it's blood,
we say that all the time. So people don't understand that, man.
Sure. So and with Jack, I have two main cousins that my basketball love came from, and especially the playing style. My cousin Sean and my cousin Jack. So me and Sean and me and Jack, we would be out a lot just doing stuff with basketball, and there would be those nights where we would be at Parkside at night with my other cousin's son, and we would just be going through stuff, because Jack is my older cousin. Jack is 3 years older than me, so as you said, he's like my big brother. And So with that, a lot of my love for playing and the things that I would do on the floor were because of those two, Sean and Jack, and seeing what he did with his other boys who also played. And of course, Kale getting to the NBA and having everything, we get to live through him. And it's fun to just watch him thrive at Villanova, to thrive now in the league and do what he's doing, and just be proud to be like, yeah, that's my little cousin. And he's 6'7", but he's still my little cousin, right?
That's right.
But so yeah, man. To your point, and I know about Joey and your whole family and all that stuff, but that's the same with us. We're all that way. So you do your things, like I'll pull Jack, like, yo, you want to go to the football game? We out. Let's go. And
it'll take nothing but one question. It don't take much playing.
Yeah, we out. Yeah. He's like, all right, we're in the playoffs, or I'm about to go to Phoenix. You ready to go? I'm out. And our schedule was so crazy I couldn't always go. But when the Sixers were done and there was an opportunity for me to leave, I was out there for the Western Conference Finals, out there for the NBA Finals. I was out there whenever I could get, because he'd be like, yo, we're out. Let's go. And so that's who we are. That's who we still are. Yep.
I love it. I love
in Brooklyn too. In Brooklyn too.
That's
so,
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hey, cuz, I got a quick question for you, Ann, before you guys go.
Yeah, man.
You see me playing. We've grown up playing ball all our life, right?
Right.
What would you say is similar with my game when I used to play? Because I'm all golf now. Basketball's out. Total golf.
Wait.
I'm trying to get cuz out there.
I'm hearing you.
Oh, I said I'm basketball. I'm out. I'm a total golfer at this point. You know what I mean? Just all golf.
Yeah, he's out on basketball. It's more golf right now. So
wow, you got it.
I
stink. I would love to go. I would love to go golfing with you, though. I would love to do it.
Please
I would love that.
Yeah.
So my guys I golf with are big Anthony Gargano fans. Boy, they would be tripped out if you came out.
I would love. Are you kidding me? I would love it. Name the time. Listen. I'll be your caddy. All right, I'll carry the
clubs. I would say to answer your question is Kale's game from what you do. First of all, now that he has the back to the basket game, he could do that. So Jack was a bigger guard at the time in high school and then getting to college. So he would punish smaller guards on the low block at like 6'3", 6'4". And then I would also say that the cerebral part of the game, where his IQ, of course, coming from you and learning the other stuff once he got to Jay Wright and all that stuff. Right. I would say, of course, the cerebral part and the patience of the game is something that I see in him that I remember from when you played.
That's beautiful. That's awesome.
And look, Derek Bodner asked on the show, and what happened to the Sixers draft hat that night. Yes. So I texted Jack and I was like, yo, what happened to the hat? He said, I think we gave it back to the official, and I wish I would have kept it. So I forgot to tell you that. All right, so I have this. I think this is the Suns 2018 draft cap, right? I think this is Suns 2018 draft cap. And then I still have the Sixers 2018 draft cap.
Oh, that's fabulous.
From that draft. So there you have it. Yeah, look at that.
Oh, my
goodness.
Yeah.
We got to burn that.
So
burn that motherfucker.
So jealous.
Yeah.
I started to hide mine. When the guy came around, it was collecting us to give us the Phoenix one. I started to know where mine's at.
Yeah,
I was sitting on my head. I'm like, I don't know where my head is.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's fantastic. Guys, I love you. God bless you. D, you're the best. Jack, man, family, man. You set that up, man. We'll go golfing, all right? I would love that.
Hey, we got the PHLY. We got the PHLY golf outing coming up.
That's right. That's perfect. Over at Valley Brook, Jaws' spot. So it'll be great.
Oh, that's one of our spots we play all the time too.
Oh, that's perfect, man. I love it.
For sure.
Much love,
thanks
brother.
for the time, man. I appreciate you having me, man.
Yes.
For sure. Anytime you want to reach out and have me on for any questions or answers.
I would love to do that. One day we got to do it back in the day. You got to come in and we got to talk about basketball of the 80s, right? Back in the day, Philadelphia basketball, the playgrounds. You guys were 52nd and Parkside. We were 19th and Johnson. We're 12th and Wharton, right? Like all those spots.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool, man. Guys, God bless you.
Whenever, Ant, let me know, man. I'll come in for sure.
That's a bet, man. Thanks, boys. Appreciate it, brothers.
That.
There is Devon
Sorry I couldn't get
Givens.
the camera figured out, guys.
I love. No, forget that. Jack Bridges, just amazing, man. Just great stuff, man.
Great story.
Right?
Yeah.
It's sad, man. It sucks, man. That we love Mikal.
Yep.
Love
Yeah.
Mikal.
Still enjoy watching him play, even though he's not our boy.
Oh my God.
Pop's taking some heat in the chat room, though.
Yeah.
As soon as he dropped Boston, they're like, oh my God, end the call. Violation. Get him off the air.
What are we going to do?
Oh my God. That's just unbelievable, dude.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. I still can't
What
believe
could have been?
We had him. We had Mikal.
He wore the hat. He had the hat on the stage, cuz.
Oh my God.
Is there any more like Philadelphia, the cliche bird in the hand, two in the bush? It's like, you had it.
You had him. You had him.
Oh, man.
Oh my God. What a beautiful family, too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, good
they're
people.
just
I mean,
incredible
Devon's
family.
okay. The other guys are cool.
I mean, just an amazing family. Oh my God.
Awesome.
All right. Here's the deal. What's the matter?
There's a lot of cuz reference going on between Devon and Jack, so people were like confused about who's cuz
Yeah,
there.
we're all cuz. Everybody's cuz.
We're all
And it's funny
cousins.
because like cousin, like we all, that's a Philadelphia thing. That's what it is. All right, we're going to come back. I got the Friday Five. We got taste tests of the new Hers Philadelphia style chips, ravioli,
Stromboli.
Stromboli.
Pierogi.
and pierogi.
We all ended in eyes.
And we got a couple nugs, and we got our man TV Todd.
We all silly like the mayor.